Hi, my name is Bren. Here's a hip-focused flow class. You can find a variety of flow, yin, and strength-building yoga classes at practicewithbren.com. You can start a 2-week free trial anytime, and after that, $11.99 a month for unlimited access to the always growing video library. I hope to see you there. If you have yoga blocks available at home, you can bring those close by to your practice space. If not, that's no problem. And when you have what you need, let's start in tabletop. In tabletop, we'll start to circle over the wrists. Press the palms down into the mat. Switch direction of those circles, putting weight on the hands from a variety of angles. You can give the hands a little shake if you like, and we'll start our cat-cow, moving with the breath. Inhale, arch, look forward. Exhale, round the spine and look down. Continue at the pace of your breath. And we'll start to bring our awareness and our focus inwards. Gathering in your attention, see if you can focus on either sensations in the body or the feeling or sound of your breath. We'll start to move our cat-cow in a wave direction. Can you start from a neutral spine, tilt the tailbone up, then drop the belly down, low back, mid back, upper back, arch, and then lift the chin, look forward. Same direction starting from the tailbone. Tuck the pelvis, then round low back, then mid back, then upper back, then look down between the thumbs. A few more times in this wave action. Meeting back in neutral. When you're ready, we'll press to downward facing dog. Arriving in your downward dog with intention, can you choose to be here on purpose? Hands press the mat away from the top of your head, tailbone reaching up towards the ceiling. Another wave motion. Come up high on the balls of the feet. Wave yourself forward into plank. And from plank, we're going to find an 8-point pose. Set the knees down. Keep the elbows closed as you lower chest and chin or forehead to the mat. With that wave-like motion, untuck the toes. Front of the legs touch down. Front of the hips touch down. Belly touches down. Arch yourself up for cobra. Press through tabletop and back to downward facing dog. We'll have another couple opportunities to practice that pattern today. From downward facing dog, lift the heels, ripple forward to plank. Set the knees down, set the chest and either chin or forehead down. Keep the elbows close, top of the feet down, top of the legs down, belly down. Lift the chin and chest for cobra. Press through hands and knees to downward dog. Let's bring the right leg back and up behind us for three-legged dog. Step the right foot forward between the hands and set the left knee down for low lunge. Lift your torso upright and extend your arms out in a T-shape, palms facing up. With arms extended, can you add some power through the legs as if you're dragging your right foot back and your left knee forward? Scissors power with the legs. Hands go forward and down, and we'll step to downward facing dog. Same thing on the other side. Left foot goes back and up, three-legged dog. Keep pressing with both shoulders. Left foot forward between the hands, right knee down behind you. Lift your torso up and extend your arms in a T-shape, palms facing up. Add that scissors power with the legs. Notice if you're arching in the spine, can you draw the front ribs slightly towards the front hip points, lengthening the lower back? A bit of abdominal engagement can help you there. Hands go forward and down, and we go back to downward facing dog. Right leg back and up. Right foot between the hands. This time we'll find a hovering low lunge. So the left knee is bent a lot, but it's not touching down on the mat. You might imagine two about 90-degree angles in the knees. Find head, shoulders, and hips in a line. Extend your arms at shoulder height once again. Add that scissors power with the legs. And we go to downward facing dog. Left foot back and up. Same thing on this other side. Left foot between the hands. Hovering low lunge. Imagine that 90-90 angle with the knees. You might come back to the sensation or sound of your breath. And we go to downward facing dog. Right leg back and up. This time we're heading for lizard lunge. Step the right foot outside the right hand. Keep the back knee lifted. Good opportunity to use your block here beneath your hands. Find a very active lower body. Press the hamstrings of the left leg up towards the ceiling. You might gaze beyond the front edge of your yoga mat. Be in a place where you can breathe. If you have a block, you can dismount off of that prop and step back to downward facing dog. Of course, we'll do that on the other side. Left leg back and up. Left foot outside the left hand. Keep the back knee lifted. Maybe a block beneath your hands as you find your lizard lunge. Activate through that back leg especially. One more cycle of breath here. And make your way to downward facing dog. We're walking the feet up towards the hands for Uttanasana. On an inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up, look up. And exhale, relax the arms. We'll move through Sun Salutation A using that 8-point pose instead of Chaturanga. Let's try it. Inhale, reach. And exhale to fold your halfway lift. And hands touch down, step your feet back to high plank. Knees, chest, and chin touch down. Keep the elbows drawing towards the midline as you bring tops of the feet, front of the legs, front of the pelvis. Lift the chin and chest for little cobra. Press up and back for down dog. Right foot up for three-legged dog. Reach through the heel of that right foot. Keep pressing with both hands. Right foot steps between the hands for high lunge this time. As you're ready, bring yourself upright. Instead of our usual arms overhead, can we find arms extended, palms up? Add that scissors power with the legs like you're drawing the right foot back and the left foot forward. From here, we'll open up to Warrior Two. Pivot on the back foot. Extend your arms, right arm over top of that right leg. Again, palms are up. Reverse left hand down, right hand up to the ceiling. Keep the right knee bent. And from here to extended side angle. Right elbow could go to the right knee. Left arm reaches up overhead. Let's make some big circles with that left arm. Next time your left arm circles forward, pivot on your back foot. You might find your blocks here. We're setting up for pyramid. I'm going to shorten my stance and I'll find all toes facing the top of the mat. Add that scissors power. If you find your hips are out to one side, can you draw right hip back, left hip forward, so your pelvis is square to the top of the mat? You might press down with all the toes of your right foot, breathing here. And we'll step up for cross-legged Uttanasana. Left foot goes to the right side of the right foot. Make an X with the legs. Maybe use your blocks or not to fold forward. Uncross, find your usual Uttanasana. And when you're ready to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach up, look up, press your feet into the mat. Exhale, relax the arms. Same pattern on the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Your halfway lift. Hands touch down, step back to high plank. 8-point pose, knees, chest, and chin. Ripple forward to cobra. Press to down dog. Left foot goes back and up, reach through the heel. Left foot between the hands, heading for high lunge. When you arrive in high lunge, extend your arms out in a T shape, palms up. Breathing and moving with intention today. From here, open up to warrior two, palms up. Reverse, left hand reaches to the ceiling. Extended side angle, right arm goes up and over to make some big circles. Next time your right arm circles forward, pivot on your back foot, hands might reach for blocks as you shorten your stance and set up for pyramid pose. Square your hips with that scissors power, left hip back, right hip forward. And we'll step up for cross-legged Uttanasana. Right foot crosses behind the left. Unwind, find your usual forward fold. Next time you inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up as you press your feet into the mat. Exhale, relax the arms. Standing near the top of the mat, do what you like with the hands. Right knee to chest. Taking a wide step towards tree pose, lift your right foot up and over something as you send your right knee out to the right. And then without using your hands, set your right foot anywhere on the inside of your left leg. We'll go back the way we came. Lift your right knee out to the side, then bring it forward. Then we're stepping way back behind us for high lunge. One of those intentional breaths here. Hands go forward and down to plank. Find your 8-point pose, knees, chest, and chin. Elbows hug into the midline, ripple forward for cobra. Press to down dog. Walk your feet up towards your hands. We'll come up into that tree pose once again. So lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, release. This time when you inhale, bring your right knee with you. Open up, high step into tree. Pause here in your tree pose. You're welcome to choose your favorite arm variation. Coming out the way we came in, high step off the leg, bring the right knee forward, then set the right foot down. Same thing on the other side, from Tadasana, left knee to chest. Left knee out to the side, keep it high. Set the left foot anywhere on the inside of the right leg. Back the way you came, lift the left knee high and wide, bring the left knee forward, then step it back behind you, find your high lunge. Press through that back left leg. Hands reach forward and down, step back for high plank, and vinyasa through 8-point pose. Ripple forward to cobra. Press up to down dog. Step your feet up towards the hands. Next time you're ready to inhale, make it your halfway lift. Exhale, release. Here comes that funny tree pose. Inhale, bring the left knee with you when you stand up. High step out to the side, hands free tree pose. Pausing here. Option to change your arm position. And going out the way we came in, lift the left knee high, bring the left knee forward, set your left foot down. Fabulous job. Reset or shake it out if you'd like to. Let's put all of that together. Meeting in Tadasana at the top of the mat. Inhale, big reach up, lift your right knee. Exhale, find your tree pose. Inhale, lift up, lift the right knee. Exhale, right foot back, straight into high lunge, arms extended at your sides. Open up to warrior two. Reverse. Extended side angle. Transition from side angle to pyramid. So turn your chest down towards the mat. Keep reaching with your right arm as you pivot on the back leg. Option to bring hands to blocks, and I'll suggest you shorten your stance. Find that scissors power in the hips. Step up for cross-legged Uttanasana. Unravel Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Release. Here comes the right knee. Inhale, right knee lifted. Tree pose. Pausing here for 3. Come back to your intentional breath. 2. 1, release back to standing, other side. Inhale, reach up, look up, left knee lifted. Exhale, tree pose. Inhale, lift the left knee, reach up. Exhale to high lunge. Arms extended out in a T shape. Smooth transition to warrior two. Reverse. Extended side angle. Keep reaching to the top of the mat with your left arm as you turn your chest down towards the floor. You could reach for blocks if they're available. We'll shorten our stance for a moment in pyramid. And step up to cross-legged Uttanasana. Unravel Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Here comes one more tree pose. Inhale, bring the left knee with you, reach up. Exhale into your favorite variation of tree for about 3 breaths. And release to standing. You spend one moment here in awareness. What are the sensations? What's the feeling or the sound of the breath? Flowing our way down to the mat. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Hands touch down, high plank. Our last opportunity for 8-point pose from high plank, knees, chest, and either chin or forehead. Ripple forward to cobra. And now we're going to press back to child's pose. Allow about 3 cycles of breath to move through your body here. Lifting up to tabletop, we'll find a lizard lunge, a low lizard lunge this time. Left foot steps outside the left hand. Right knee can stay touching down. You can put some padding underneath if you like. You're welcome to use a block there to lengthen the arms if that's available. Option to head into a twist here. Notice if you'd like to keep your toes forward or step your toes off the mat, depending on your anatomy. You might find a particular angle that feels good in your lizard lunge. If you'd like, right hand presses onto either the block or the mat as you bring your left hand to your left thigh. So we open the chest towards that left leg. This is a great place to be. A couple other options. You could tip open on the outer edge of your left foot and allow your knee to fall away from the body. Keep pressing with an active right shoulder. One more option, you could bend your right knee and draw your right heel towards your seat. Maybe your hand reaches back towards or to that right foot. How about 2 more breaths here? If you have hold of that back foot, release without slingshot. Unwind out of your twist, come back to lizard lunge. Set your block aside if it's there. Let's head from here into our pigeon pose. So fingertips touching ahead of you. You can shimmy that left foot across your mat. And when you find the appropriate angle for your pigeon, set your left knee and chin down. You might adjust the length of your stance. See if you can stay upright for a moment here, maybe on fingertips. And then if you like, forward fold. Hands or forearms can come to the block or the mat. Some folks might enjoy a twist here, left hand touching down, right arm slides underneath, right temple coming to a block or the mat. Lift up out of your folded pigeon. And let's transition here to a wide angle Janu Sirsasana, facing the right long edge of the mat. So lean over onto your left hip. You can use your left hand for support and then turn your chest towards the right side of the mat. You're gonna open up through the right hip, So you have straddle legs, bring your left heel towards your seat. We'll head for a stargazer pose, left hand either behind your left hip or on a block. Press your left hand and your right heel into the mat as you lift your hips up, pelvis up towards the ceiling. Maybe right hand reaches up. Sit your hips down. Remove that block if it was under the left hand and turn yourself back to tabletop. We'll do those same moves on the other side, starting with a low lizard lunge, right foot outside the right hand. You're welcome to use a block. Find the angle that feels best for your right foot, and then we'll start to add that twist. Right hand to your right leg. Active left shoulder presses the mat away, chest towards your right leg. You could be here, or you might tip the right knee open. Or you might bend that back knee and reach for the back foot. Gentle release. Hands touch down on the mat, heading for pigeon. Shimmy your right foot across the mat. Right knee and shin touching down. See if you can find upright pigeon for a moment, up on fingertips or blocks. And then if you like adding a forward fold, you could come down onto forearms or blocks. If you're looking for more option for that twist, right hand touching down, left arm threads under, left temple, and outer left shoulder resting down. Press up onto your hands, and we'll start to open to the left side of the mat. So right hand can go outside to the right hip as you lean over onto that right hip. We'll open for a straddle towards the long side of the mat. Rotate open through your left hip. Bring your right heel towards your groin. Here's our Janu Shirsasana. For stargazer, right hand behind the right hip, maybe onto a block. Press into right hand, left heel, and right knee, and press the pelvis up. Maybe the left hand reaches up as well. Sit yourself down and reach forward into tabletop. We'll start to transition onto the back body. If there are some other moves you want to feel before we lie down on the back, you can find those now. With knees bent and feet touching down, widen your stance towards the edges of your mat and find your windshield wiper knees, both knees at the same time, fall over to one side. They come up through center and fall to the other side. And next time your knees are over towards the right, we'll pause there. You can let the knees hang in the air, or maybe they're touching down. Option to step the outer right ankle up on top of the outer left knee. That might add some sensation to the front of your left hip. As usual, we're looking for hip sensations, not knee sensations. We'll spend a couple breaths here. If you have the foot on the knee, we'll step off and move our windshield wiper knees over to the left. You can pause here. Option to step left ankle up on top of right knee. coming back to awareness. What are the sensations? How is the breath? What's here? Step the left foot off the knee if it was there. Tip your knees back up through center. You might draw both legs up towards the chest and rock and roll around a little. And then soften into your preferred position for a brief Shavasana. You could keep knees bent, or you can extend the limbs into corpse pose. You can find a different position that feels good. Let's count down 10 breaths here. 10. 9. You can invite a wandering mind to come back to sensation or sound of breath. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Next time you inhale, fill up your lungs all the way to the top. When you're ready to exhale, you're welcome to sigh out the mouth. If you're lying on the back, take your time to make your way up to seated. There's no rush. Thanks for joining me in practice today. See you soon.